Fat Shark released Vermintide in 2015 to a warm response. Warhammer fans were jazzed, Left 4 Dead fans were intrigued, and I was enthralled. However, the game suffered from frustrating loot system and a stagnant enemy population. Vermintide 2 addresses these issues to engage the player in its signature brutality for much longer. Vermintide is a Warhammer fans' spin on cooperative action survival. The raw gameplay is very similar to the original. 4 characters, each filling their own niche, slaughter their way through apocalyptic scenarios. The most familiar tropes remain. The heroes will discover scattered stockpiles of health and ammunition. Characters can heal and revive one another. Special enemies regularly harass the party with unique attacks. Vermintide 2 won't change your mind if you weren't interested in this formula to begin with, but it does make enough of an improvement to progression, enemy variety, and level design to be a must-play if you have enjoyed the original, Left 4 Dead, or just cooperative action in general. The dice rolling for loot from the original is mercifully gone. Now every mission provides a loot box that guarantees 3 pieces of kit, hidden tombs, grimoires, and loot dice. Hidden tomes, grimoires, and loot dice upgrade the quality of these drops if recovered, and completing higher difficulties also contributes to more powerful items. The loot can be broken down for crafting materials, which can then be used to unlock upgrades, or even just craft specific weapons. System gives satisfying rewards for nearly every completion, so useful loot is earned much more quickly than it was in the original. Random dice rolls for just like a single piece of, like a single item, which normally didn't work and was just garbage and it was like really slow and frustrating. That's all gone. Oh, and it's much better now. Loot systems vastly improved. Also, Vermintide 2 introduces the career system to a franchise. The 5 original characters return. They all have 2 unlockable career paths, and then each career path boasts a unique active skill, few passives, individual talent trees, and unique weaponry. So that amounts to 15 different careers to master, and these careers all have a particular role to fulfill, but there's enough variation within the character talents and the items, in particular the weapons you take, to customize for your own preference if you want to have like a shield and hammer, or a giant sword or axe. Selection also allows for many more party compositions, so instead of just 4 out of the 5, it's now 4 out of 15. Although the careers, that's not strictly true, really, because careers based on same character can't group together, which is kind of like, I understand it, but it is an arbitrary restriction that's kind of disappointing. I mean, you could push it a little bit, and why can't I just have 3 dwarves on the same team? I know they all have the same name and technically the same dude, but it's a video game. Can we just have a little fun with it? Vermintide 2 introduces the forces of chaos to the series. The humanoid warriors are much tougher than the rats, but they are less numerous, and they have also brought their own special enemies. Sorcerers harass the party from range with spells, and the armored chaos warriors are a little more direct in your face. These new enemies mostly inject visual variety, at least in the beginning, because you can hack through them roughly the same as you can the rats. As the difficulty gets higher and the differences in the 2 races kind of become more pronounced, it does demand some tactical adaptation, but at first it mostly just looks cool. In particular are the new bosses, very exciting. There's trolls, chaos spawn, and storm fiends. They'll join the rat ogres for boss encounters. They all have unique mechanics and attacks in which you need to learn to dodge and block and overcome or whatever. And I found myself praying for rat ogres because they're way easier than the rest. As in particular, the trolls they're vomiting. I think even of me doing this, they have been nerfed, but they're real vicious. This boss variation helps add suspense because you don't know are you going to get a difficult boss for your team or an easy boss or how exactly that's going to work out. Because in levels, I'm just going to be a boss. I'm pretty sure every level has at least 1 boss. Not to mention that in some of the levels, there are unique set pieces for special main bosses, and that's really interesting. And speaking of levels, level design is way better. All levels have clear pathing with a balance of open areas, tight corridors, and choke points. And it's just, in the original game, I only really wanted to play maybe 2 or 3 of the levels I really wanted to play, but in Vermintide 2 I've been able to quick match into any map and have a good time. So I've really been enjoying that. I can just quick match whatever map, cool, fun, they'll all have their own stuff to enjoy. But as much as I like the game, it's not flawless. In particular, there's no dedicated servers. The game, it really suffers if you have a poor connection to the host. The combat's really fast and precise, especially with the headshots. The melee system is just as good as it was in the beginning. And you want to smack things in the head with your hammer or axe or sword or whatever. There's not a lot of margin of error. And you want to block in time and parry and use your skills. There's not a lot of margin of error for latency to fit in that. And you end up getting hit a lot and missing strikes and dying really quickly. And you'll be a burden on the team. And speaking of burdens, you're going to have You're gonna run into players that are burdens. Matchmaking teammates is kind of, there's not really a matchmaking system. It's not a versus. It just kind of throws you in. There's no guarantee that they are. There's no. I should rephrase that. There's no explicit matchmaking system, as far as I can tell. There's no. There is no matchmaking system, so sometimes your teammates aren't necessarily as cooperative as you want them to be, which in a title that requires this constant cooperation can be fatal. And it kind of ironically becomes more severe at higher difficulties, or at least higher player levels, because at low levels it seems like everyone's happy just to like explore and stick together and go through a level together. But as the heroes, as hero levels increase, they run into more divas that will run off on their own, die, and then get mad and just like quit the game. There wasn't a lot of over toxicity. I ran into that a couple times. For as much as I've been playing it, it's very refreshing for an online experience. Also, the treasure hunting aspects have some unintended consequences in that the maps, they do have this nice rhythm that you can run through. You can get through pretty quickly at a nice pace, but you're encouraged to hunt these treasures to ramp up your rewards. And normally those treasures are hidden behind detours and jumping puzzles, which not only compromises that rhythm, the rhythm of the levels, but splits players based on what their personal objectives are, if they want to get the mission done quickly or want to get the max loot roll, and also how much they actually know, because some of them are really well hidden. If you don't know where it is, then you're not going to have time to look around for it necessarily. So if everyone's on the same page, it's great, and if not, well then it's really easy for everyone to split, and then if you split, you probably die. It's particularly bad when there's like lone wolf types in there, so you have one guy running ahead, another person taking a huge detour for a grimoire, another person trying to figure out the jumps to get to that same grimoire, and then one person stuck in the middle not knowing who to go with. Also, there's a lack of any PvP, similar to the first game. There's no PvP at all, which I understand is difficult, especially with the just like the theme of the game and the RPG mechanics, but I still would have liked, still really would like to play on the other side. Like it's fun. Left 4 Dead did it wonderfully, and I want that experience again of having like a versus type mode. I don't think it's going to happen. I really want to shoot that rattling gun at people, but it's probably never going to happen. That does make me kind of sad. I would like, I don't know, I'm sure they can squeeze it in somehow. Give you like small rewards. You quick drop into a match as an enemy on the rat team, and then it's not even really versus, but you get to play as a special. You don't have to do like a team versus team thing. You could just have like a quick drop. You know, players are going through, and then the conflict director decides to pull in a player opponent as an enemy or to control a boss or something. I think that would be a lot of fun, but it might still be player based or whatever. In summary, Vermintide 2 is a textbook example of how to create a strong sequel. Spirit of the franchise, core of the game, still there, and all the supporting mechanics around it are just expanded and improved. It's really easy for me to recommend unless you're uninterested in this kind of online player versus environment combat. I mean, if you don't want to go through with the team and slay a bunch of bots, like, that's understandable. And Vermintide doesn't do anything other than that. It does it very well, but that's all it does. So if you're all interested in that, I think it's great, a great experience, a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun with it. But if you're not, if you just want to do more, if you're more competitive, you're really competitive, or if you want just more of a story-based thing, there's a story here. It was kind of just like, it has a context for all the missions. There is a story, but I would not call it a narrative game. So if you're into something more like that, then Vermintide 2 may not be for you. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.